barn. You don't even have to take them in there. One big high wind comes up and it gets super cloudy and they hit the barn. Oh, there comes the wind. It's still warm out here. But it's just naturally grown in pretty good. We did not do any seeding out here. We just let weeds and grass grow. Works out good enough. That is called Fetid Creek with the tree line straight ahead. Oh, it's a deep ravine. Looks like it's just a dry nothing in the summer, but it gets really high. Look over my head whenever there's hot water. Okay, so why this looks like this does is this is where one of the years, well, let's see, what year was it that you put this out here last year? Probably last year.
This year, that's my year, a couple years ago.
Yeah. That's whenever you have a dozen to 20 goats for several years, you get a lot of compost. This is starting to really.
Okay, I'm done.
Here. Oh, he's kicking me off. You're not a fun day,
What do you want me to
buddy.
do?
I bought you pizza after
I'm
volunteering
trying
at
not
the
to fall
museum
off
and
this
mowing
mower.
there. I bought you pizza.
I'm-
And
my
here you
butt
are
keeps
kicking
slipping
me
off.
off the tractor.
No, you're kicking me off. But hold on.
Hey, I am barely hanging on.
So am I.
We need to, you see those mowers with motorcycle seats? That's what we need to put on it. Just ride around the yard. Next time you take me around, I'll go pick up my garden stuff and be done. I'll leave you alone so you can quit crying. Right? Hanging on. We're almost done with the ride. Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay, let me off gently. No, he's calling it quit. Couple days is my doing my big garden, but hey, this is what we're doing for vegetable garden this year. And some years we have gone past that to that fence line. Like we have managed it. I would work full time, but we would have our garden from all this old. And last fall, for sure we weren't. I had a lot of beans out here, and we're doing enough for us to enjoy and let it be my hobby, but not overdoing it. These irises, and I'm going to be thinning them out and putting them out where I have some, letting some areas grow, like as a little prairie area with natural grasses and stuff for birds and pollinators. So at the ends of those areas, I'm going to thin out some of these. These are irises from the house where I grew up, and my mom had got her dad had gotten and had a few, And somebody that he'd gone to church with, he would always just get different perennial flower starts and stuff. He really enjoyed that. And this was one of his favorite iris varieties. And my mom always had a bunch at our house. And I've had them at my house outside of Saratoga. And then I've had them different places. And whenever my dad moved out of the house that I grew up in, we brought the rhubarb and the irises that were there and put them out here until Dad decided, you know, if he wanted any of that at his little house, and then I just keep moving them out, and that's just been a handful of years of them growing bigger. Look how big the leaves on this rhubarb are. I intentionally just went ahead and let it go to seed because it was just struggling to do that this year. Honestly, Kanan and I are not big rhubarb fans, and it's just sentimental, you know. Every Appalachian homestead had rhubarb. It's low maintenance. It's nutritious for you and that. But honestly, most people put so much sugar in it that it's not healthy for you in the end. Anyway, can you see how huge this leaf is down here? When I just agreed to let the plant rest this year and go fully to seed, it went to town. So since I let it do that, I will probably be working on it this fall and getting some starts out of it and moving some to another bed to just keep flourishing. Scattered in here are self-seeded and growing back hollyhocks. Scattered throughout here are strawberry plants, lots of varieties. If you know me, I don't like strawberries. Fresh fruit, my husband loves them, and they're just scattered. This is just like, sometimes I'll put peppers out here, just a lot of flowers. This is my needs bright sunshine bed out here. I have different herbs over there scattered, marked with the cages to see how they were doing over the winter. Some did okay, some are still struggling. As Kanan rotailed, he piled all those rocks in there. It's a natural gravel pit at this high spot in our yard. So we'll be taking those out. But that bird bath basin, on that bird bath, I had picked up secondhand several years ago. Sad story. It just would not stay on the base, and that this had been even on there. This broke loose, this adhesive somebody had, and that top, the basin fell off and squished and killed one of our ducks. So when we were letting our birds free range. So I'm gonna see about getting the base set in a wild area I'm letting grow out there, and getting that to stick back on there for a while as a water basin. That's a rhubarb that's I moved that section of that last year, so another year it should be like okay. And not all these hollyhocks will have big blooms on them. Most hollyhocks are biannual, like you'll not see flowers every year. If it comes back every other year, you will. But I usually have way more hollyhocks than I ever want, and the colors of them fade and change, and that makes it fun and exciting. So this, I struggle with flower beds in there, but the volunteer hollyhocks, Kanan had moved some up to that patio area, but when I cleaned this brush out this weekend, I will be filling it in with all my volunteer hollyhocks in here. This was, it's flipped upside down, but it stood on the 4 of those legs in a Pioneer barn in Randolph County. Kanan went with me and helped salvage it, and it was the stanchion for milking cows. So that was a fun thing. It was a beast to move. Ooh, that was a heck of a job, but it was a lot of fun. There's 22 tomato hills. A couple actually do have 2 tomato plants in them. Is that always the best option? No. left them. I was hurrying up and getting these out to try to get back on track with my garden planting. You actually have from Mother's Day to Father's Day here in our area of East Central Indiana to do well with getting your stuff out and planted. As a general rule of thumb, if you wait till July 4th, you are really pushing on getting harvest from stuff before frost. You're not going to see much of any luck. So you still have time, as long as you can plan here in the next couple weeks before Father's Day to start getting most of your garden out, and as things die and fizzle out, replant. You can definitely be planting peas late summer and be getting some of that harvest before frost. Cannon's locking up the barn. I hear him opening and closing the pens. He's in there watering and feeding the goats. We still have a lot of goats. We gotta break our hearts and thin them out. Y'all have a good night, and hopefully you get rain and no bad storms.